In the 20th century, writer and psychologist Joseph Campbell introduced a concept called the hero's journey, a basic plotline that he believed to be true within all of history's greatest stories, from the Catholics to the Buddhists, from the Greeks to the Egyptians. All told the story of a great hero arising from nothing in the greatest hour of need to kill the dragon or slay their demons or to save the princess. The youth of today, including myself, grew up in a world thinking of ourselves as special. Our parents told us we were special, right? So, we believed them. We were constantly rewarded for below average achievements. So, we believed that mediocre effort resulted in great reward. So what happens when we find out we really aren't that special after all? What happens when that great story that was written for us, all those hopes and dreams we had, just isn't becoming reality? We have no story to follow, no guideline to greatness. We become lost, confused, and depressed without our life's meaning. So I say, write your own story. Go from being that special little boy or girl that you remember to becoming a man or woman with conviction and purpose. And I'm about to give you the tools and knowledge to do just that. Campbell outlined a 3-part template for the hero's journey. This included departure, initiation, and return. Spread across these 3 parts are 17 individual steps the hero had to take to complete the cycle. Today, I'm going to simplify that slightly to make it 9 steps, 3 steps for each part. I'm about to use a number of examples from a variety of heroes, as well as how we can apply this in our own lives. I hope you can keep up. The hero's journey begins the most mundane of situations. Life is going along relatively smoothly, even if there are a few unexpected circumstances. However, herein is where the difference lies. Our hero, or in this case you, goes from just putting up with this situation to locating a path out of that negative situation. In Donald Glover's Atlanta, the main character, Ern, envisions a scenario in which his cousin Alfred finds success in the rap industry, and thus breaks them both out of their relevant negative situations. In a real-life context, this vision may simply be the need to move out of our parents' house or follow a potential career path. Ideas come easily enough. However, it is the doing of the action which is most difficult. Following this is a refusal to step into the unknown and make ourselves better. The best example of this is Bilbo Baggins in Tolkien's The Hobbit. The Shire is so cozy and forgiving. Why would he ever need to leave? No one else around him is going on big adventures, so why should he live any different to them? Indeed, for you, all your friends or family may have never had the level of ambition that you envision for yourself. So what makes you so special? Why step out that comfort zone and try and make yourself better? What usually pushes the hero over the line and into the unknown is the meeting of a mentor that they have come across, who has already seen the journey and come out as a better person as a result. Kanye West and Jay-Z shared such a relationship in the early 2000s. Jay-Z had found success in the music industry, and with a mix of ambition and skill, all Kanye had to do was follow in his mentor's footsteps. So think of someone who has already achieved the goals that you have set for yourself, and learn from his or her experience. You may find that the journey isn't so scary after all. This is where the journey truly becomes interesting. This is where the hero is forged in the fire and finds their truest self in the darkest moments. In speaking with the world's most successful people, most will agree their greatest epiphanies, realizations, and triumphs come during this period of struggle. For such an epic part of our journey, let's turn to history's most relevant heroes in order to help us explain this next part. Thousands of years ago, a young man left behind a life of luxury and lavishness in favor of more simple pursuits. Buddha had begun the journey within, a journey he knew he was destined to face. However, coming from everything into bare nothing resulted in a number of close brushes with failure and with death. Oftentimes, we find ourselves in situations that feel completely alien to us, and we feel helpless. This may mean moving to a completely new town, surrounded by strangers, or working a new job and not knowing anything about what to do. However, it is vital to push through this pain in order to slay our demons. In keeping with the theological theme, Jesus Christ slayed his own demons through the ability to resist the temptations of the devil. After being offered the world in his greatest hour of need, Jesus denies the devil and arises triumphant. Now, I know this is a Bible story, and whether you understand this to be literal or figurative is completely irrelevant. What is relevant, however, is the powerful metaphor it gives to us. Do you have the confidence to face your demons that may come in the form of anxiety or depression? Do you have the willpower to not go home even when you're feeling most alone? Face and slay these demons, and you too shall reap the rewards of the journey. Despite me just referencing perhaps two of history's most influential heroes, I will now use our most popular and relevant example yet, Jon Snow. So after slaying your metaphorical or very real dragon, chances are you'll be wiped. You may have faced your greatest challenge, yet you still feel as though you've achieved nothing, and the itch to simply give up is at its strongest point. This is where the death and rebirth of the hero occurs. Whereas Jon Snow literally dies and is brought back to life, sorry about the spoilers, the same lesson can be applied to anyone. The rebirth may feel like the restart of your personality, a time in life where you make the decision that the trials and tribulations have made you into a better person. It's kind of like the idea new year, new me, except far more realistic and more purpose-built to your own experience. This will be a definite moment in your life, usually felt after climbing a mountain or swimming at a beautiful beach, and you realize just how far you've come, and you realize just how good life is. Once we have conquered the unknown and faced our greatest challenges, it is inevitable that a return to the mundane must now occur. Before this happens, however, heroes find that in response to their good work and growth in confidence, they are rewarded. In video games, such as World of Warcraft, this is a simple system to keep players interested. You put effort in and you are rewarded. The simplicity of these games is what makes them so addictive. However, real life can be similar. After facing your biggest challenges and slaying your demons, you may find that you come into a pay rise at work, or, with your newfound confidence, gain a whole new bunch of friends, or even a potential life partner. After finding success in Hollywood, a young Robert Downey Jr. found the world loved him and his growing ego. His success resulted in arrogance, and he began living off the highs of both his ego and narcotics. The actor managed to find his way back to the light, after the realization that the hard work that saw him achieve so much early on in his career was the key to even greater success later with Iron Man. Much like your initial refusal to leave home or try something new, you may find comfort in your newfound confidence and success. However, it is important to remember that modesty is always the key. With the completion of the journey and the return home, the hero now becomes the master of both the known and unknown worlds. This is an enlightened state, and the true path to adulthood, from boys to men, and from girls into women. Kendrick Lamar achieved considerable fame after the release of Good Kid, Mad City, but it is his ability to be the observer of his own journey and his literal returning to his home of Compton that allowed him to create his magnum opus, To Pimp a Butterfly. The hero's cockiness has now been replaced by a humble spirit that will keep them prepared for any of life's other journeys. The hero's journey that I've described for you in today's video is one of epic proportions. I've used characters and people who have lived epic lives. You may not need to slay a dragon or overcome a cocaine addiction, but we all have our own demons to face. In the end, isn't that why we read great fantasy novels or re-watch those sci-fi films 100 times? The truth is, we see a little of ourselves in those characters. We see them in a situation of great desperation, trying to claw their way out of a bad situation and become the rulers of their reality. Indeed, that is the entire purpose of this channel. To see your own potential and to create your own destiny. So I invite you to be the observer of your own story. When you're just on the brink of giving up or deciding whether to take that leap of faith into the unknown, remember the sacredness of your journey, and that sacrifice and struggle are necessary ingredients to success. The true beauty of the hero's journey is that it is a circle. Where one journey ends, another begins. But with each completion of the circle, you become stronger and more prepared for the next chapter in your life. So I hope you've gained some insight from what we've talked about today, and I promise you can look forward to many more in the future. So in conclusion, let's take back the pen and be the writers of our own story, and be the hero in our own journey. As always, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, as every little bit helps the channel grow. This has been Jay of Rule Your Reality, and until next time, thank you.